So I've always written untitled on paper. And before I started the challenge, I took some time to transcribe what I had so far. I did this for two reasons. First, because I wanted to be able to pinpoint my starting point for the challenge. And second, because I wanted a document where I could establish the most accurate word count possible for each day of the challenge that passed. Day one. I started my first day of this challenge with chores. Laundry waits for no person, myself included, so I took some time to put my laundry up to air dry in the morning sun, and then I had a little date. Myself, my window, my fan, because it's very hot, my pen, and my notebook. And I sat there and I waited. I wrote. I thought about the phrases that had been swimming about in my head before I took the decision to sit down and write. I waited some more, and I wrote some more. Now, at the end of my writing session, I did a manual count, but my transcription shows me that for that day, I wrote a total of 1,776 words. On day two, I burned the midnight oil to spend time writing. And it's at this point that I started to panic. I'd had an exhausting day, and I was only eventually finding time to write at 10 p.m. at night after I'd had a full day and my body could feel the impact of it. My mind and my body were not in concert. I couldn't write for as long as I wanted to because I was just too tired to continue. And I started to think, is this challenge cursed? 1,700 words a day. If I don't even have time to sit for 2 hours a day to get this work done, when is it actually going to happen that I get to my word count for the day? Another late night spent writing today. Day three is more like night three. I spent some time before bed doing my word count by hand, and I exceeded my goal, but I was truly exhausted. Day four. On this day, I thought I might have myself a change of pace, leave the house, and try to write in a cafe in town. Enjoy my view from my desk at the cafe. I took the decision to go to this cafe because I'd seen it online and people said that it was a good place to work. And upon sort of first glance, it looked like a place that I could write, a place that I could focus a bit. But after I took my seat and ordered my drink, I realized that it was far too loud in there for me to concentrate. Plus, the bubble tea was middling. So, the entire time I was just uneasy. I couldn't write, and I'm dismayed to admit, but I hit a new low. I only wrote 93 words the whole day. Yeah, 1,700 words, nowhere to be found. I don't have any footage of day 5 because I was busy and I was tired. So you can enjoy this video of the National Mosque in Abuja with me. But you can start to sense, I think, from this point that I'm becoming a tad panicked about the future of this challenge. I was reeling from my low in the previous day, and I was starting to realize that maybe an overnight overhaul of my writing habits and my writing availability, among everything else I need to do in a day, is maybe a bit easier said than done. And now, in terms of metrics, this day was not a success. I wrote only 805 words, which is not even half the goal. However, in terms of the literary quality of my writing, I was able to get through to a character that I didn't know as well as I knew the others. So, in that sense, it was a success. But in another sense, it was a fail. So, who knows? But then I was watching, while I was listening to something that a creator that I really like said, well, quoted from, I think, Portrait of a Young Artist, about haste and, you know, the life of an artist and creativity and the idea of like a goal for creativity. It just sounds a bit like oxymoronic almost. And yeah, maybe I'm silly for setting myself a challenge like this that relies so much on, like, you know, an arbitrary number per day. Like my creating beating heart can regulate itself in such a way. But yeah, maybe this is the starting point that helps me, you know, grasp a version of this challenge that isn't, you know, a metric to be hit. Because sometimes my more pragmatic sides of myself can veer that way. The sides of me that's really concerned about productivity and making and doing and achieving. You know, maybe a side of me can acknowledge that this challenge is a call to prayer, a call to arms, a call to worship, a call to meditation, a call to doing, not hitting a point on a scale. So I think maybe that's a healthier way to look at it. And yeah, maybe this is a process that helps me really learn more about like self-forgiveness and what I think failure is or failure isn't.